Dee, let's start out with thanks to our listeners for letting us take Easter week off.
It was a nice break. It really was.
Did you have a nice Easter?
I did. I had a really nice Easter with my family. Did you?
I did with my family. They all came here. We had a bit of rain before and after the big Easter egg hunt, but we got the hunt in outside, which the kids loved. And I found a 4-leaf clover all by
Woohoo!
myself.
You didn't even have to pay for it.
I did pay for one because my great nephew's like, well, I have a reputation. I need to find one. So he did.
That's amazing. Okay, well, good for you. Now, have we found the show notes?
I have.
Are we ready? Let's get started.
Alrighty. Welcome to the Garden Angelist, where we chat about flowers, veggies, and all the best dirt. I'm Carol Michael from Indianapolis, Indiana. I have a suburban garden measured in square feet. It's about 1/3 of an acre.
And I'm Dee Nash from Guthrie, Oklahoma, where I still have a large garden out in the country.
We are Garden Angelists because we love gardening. We want you to love it too.
Yes, we do. And we aren't afraid to spill all of our gardening secrets, the good, the bad, and even the ugly. But let's move on to this week's episode.
Hey,
So-
Dee.
Wow, let's do your garden update.
Well, we've had 2 weeks. Mostly it's garden cleanup and weeding. I did host the world's greatest family Easter egg hunt. Did some more weeding. I've mowed in the front twice and trimmed it, but not in the back because I'm waiting for the crocuses to all die out and it doesn't start growing as fast. I tore down my microgreen farm because I needed that space for some of the Easter meal serving. And then I got some new seeds and some new containers from True Leaf Market, and I got that back set up. Been
Cool.
watering stuff. In spite of rain on the actual day I had the egg hunt, we haven't had rain for a while. I went to my local library branch where suddenly I'm now part of a volunteer group working on some native gardens that they have planted over there.
How did that happen?
We checked that out. I hosted a very small garden club, like 7 women, to come and do a brief tour, which was nice. I knew the person, so it was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to courts with my youngest sister yesterday. We're recording this on Sunday, the 12th, where I proceed to tell her it's too early to plant. It's too early to plant. Courtney and I are comparing long-range forecasts because everybody comes in thinking that Courtney knows what the weather's going to do in 11 days.
Yeah, no.
We'll talk about that in the garden commissions.
No,
But
no.
you had a very busy 2 weeks.
I did, and it's not stopping. So I only listed in the notes what I did this week, and I worked 2 days in the garden, the old garden, to try to get it, because it's weedy, and worked on it. And I worked 3 days at Front Door Flowers. The week before, I think I just worked 2 days, and we were really busy yesterday. And so
No
I'm
doubt.
tired today.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday, and usually we aren't that busy on Saturday morning, but everybody came out and it was really fun. And I felt like we helped a lot of people, and that always makes me happy. And I also had 2 garden coaching clients this week, and I think I had 3 last week.
Busy.
Busy, busy, busy. And I was supposed to have one this morning, but it rained.
I want some rain.
Hard. Like it rained a lot, and it has stopped, but everything's muddy. So I said, let's revisit that next week. So that's just an overview of what I did.
Yeah, I don't imagine that you sat around and ate bonbons and read books.
No, I'm still reading whatever Theo from Golden because I am so tired when I go to bed that I fall asleep reading it. But I still love
I
it.
devoured that book, Dee.
I know you did, and I'm having trouble. Although I'm really enjoying it. I'm in the middle now, so it's starting to make some sense. All right, let's play favorites. I'll go first. Mine is my Iris Backdraft, which I bought, I don't know, several years ago from Hugh Stout, who actually hybridized it, and he lives here in Oklahoma, or did.
Uh-huh.
And it is a beautiful thing. It is a purple and orange and kind of a bronze color, and it looks a little bit like fire. It's a beautiful plant.
I'm seeing a picture of it. It really looks interesting.
Yeah, it's a really cool iris. All right, and what's yours? Oh, I love this one.
So mine is Viola Soraria Freckles, which is Freckles is a spotted violet. And what's really amazing about Freckles, I bought the seeds, I think 3 years ago from Nan Andra at Hayfield.
Mm-hmm.
I winter sowed them. And then ended up with one plant. I planted it. And then when I was out Friday looking around the garden, there's a the mother plant, I call it, and then there's another little patch of freckles in the lawn, and then across in another bed, there's another little puddle of freckles. So it's starting to self-sow in the garden. So anyway,
Mhm.
it has to be my favorite this week. I've posted it on Instagram. I posted it on Substack. Anyway, that's it.
Yeah. I haven't posted my irises yet. I should do that. I also have I have peonies starting to bloom too. All right, question of the week, and this is from fan mail. And they said, I want to grow Nicotiana for the first time. And then Carol had some advice for them.
Yeah, she said she's in the hot, humid southern U.S., Memphis, Tennessee. I see no reason why you could not grow flowering tobacco, Nicotiana, in that region. I
Yeah, it
think it would
grows
do
well
fine.
here.
I think it would do fine. And I think if you let it go and set seed, it should self-sow because I haven't planted it in years and I get it growing up in my vegetable garden in various spots. And if it's not where I want it, I just gently move it. So I think it no big deal. Get some good seeds.
Too. Oh, I forgot to mention one of my updates, which I was thinking about Nicotiana and putting it in my garden beds over here because I
Uh-huh.
live and it smells good, especially the white one. They dug the trench around my beds to put the stones. We
Nice.
got that much closer. I mean, it is slow, man. And then my son told me that Luz and his crew have to go cut a tree down on a work job. I was like, Brennan, I need him here. And he was like, Mom, this is how we pay for gardens. And I said, okay. So
So your Eastern red cedar is still there?
yeah, there's one over here and one right there, but they're about to go. But the main thing is we got to get that bed. I mean, I need to be able to garden, Carol.
Now, Nicotiana seed, back to Nicotiana. Come back
Yeah.
to Nicotiana with me.
Okay.
Come back. Come back.
Back.
Seeds are very tiny, so if they're a little bit nervous about sowing them directly in the garden, they could sow a little flat of them. Then
I
when
do
they
that.
come up, they could prick them out and plant them. Make sure they're well watered growing into it. I listened to I told you I read the latest Wendell Berry novel, which the name escapes me, but it's the new one, and we'll put it in the show notes. But
Mhm.
he had a whole section describing how they grew tobacco and how labor intensive that was.
It was.
So think about Nicotiana, the flower. It's not that labor intensive.
No, it's not. It's nothing like tobacco, even though it's called flowering tobacco and it's part of a genus that when you crush it, it smells like tobacco. And actually, I've heard that it is poisonous to certain creatures who eat it. So it doesn't have a lot of pests like grasshoppers.
Yeah. So anyway, don't be afraid to sow it.
I do it myself in little 4-inch pots. I prick it out, put it in 4-inch pots, then I put it out in the garden. It's easy to grow.
All
And
right.
and then we didn't even talk about the fact that there are several different varieties of it. There's a green one. There's the Alata varieties, which are bigger flower, look different. Then is it Sylvestris that is white? Yeah.
That's what I have. It's just the plain white Sylvestris. You could go to Select Seeds has different varieties of Nicotiana. That'd be if you want something different. If you just want the basics, go to your local garden center or any place that's selling seeds, and they will surely have Nicotiana seeds for sale.
Sure. Insect of the week, the great spangled fritillary butterfly, and its food source is violets, which Lord knows we have violets. That butterfly is beautiful, and it is in Oklahoma, but not yet.
I saw a couple of butterflies the other day, which could or could not have been it. But for the Easter egg hunt, which was the day before Easter, we saw a black swallowtail, plain as day. And I've never seen one that early, but everybody's talking about how early spring is here. But anyway, I just think that people get so verklempt over violets in the yard. And when they think about this is the only food source for the great fritillaria butterfly, I say let them grow. And they're all over my garden right now. They are all over my garden.
Yeah, I have lots of violets at the old
The
house.
violets, not the butterflies. I'm hoping the
not seeing the
butterflies.
butterflies yet, but I will. They're a very popular butterfly. in Oklahoma, especially where you have violets. And if you let violets grow at all, you'll have violets everywhere. And they're wonderful because when you have to mow your yard, you just mow the violet and it's like no big deal. So I actually have them also planted underneath a tree, but I have one caveat. So I had one client this week and she had violets all over the place in her flower beds because they just bought this house. And I said, well, you have violets because somebody let the violets grow. And I said, they can kind of be a nuisance plant if you have them in your flower beds and you don't, get rid of some of them. And she goes, okay, good to know. So I don't let them grow in my flower beds if I can.
I do.
I know you do, but you like violets more than anybody I've met.
But if they get in the way, I have no problems digging them out. But there's like one area where around the one pawpaw, there's not a lot else that's growing. And so I just let the violets grow in there. But anyway,
Yeah, I have an oak tree that the violets make a nice carpet underneath it.
yes.
They're very pretty. And now I've got these. So those were the regular old purple violets.
Yes.
Now I've got some light lavender ones and I've got some other colors because they mix.
They do.
They have parties in your yard.
They do.
Anyway, my hair is driving me crazy because it got all wet when I was outside.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to do a quote. We're going to talk about the flowers.
Sticking to my face.
What'd you say?
It is sticking to my face and it's getting on my nerves.
Let us, I will do a quote. We will talk about flowers. You will forget your hair.
I'll try. Go.
The first day of spring is one thing, and the first spring day is another. The difference between them is sometimes as great as a month. Henry Van Dyke.
Yes, sometimes we'll have a really cold spring, and that is very true. This is not true this year. People keep asking me, is it too early to plant? And I'm like, well, the native oak trees have all got their leaves out, so I think you're okay. I don't think we'll
And
have
here, no, they don't have their leaves out. It's not safe to
not
plant.
do it there yet. Flowers. So I'm supposed to tell you what is new to me at the greenhouse this year.
What are you most excited about? Because you are surrounded by flowers all day long. And
Yeah, and I get to make up people's pots all day
yes,
long. That is really fun. And there was one more I thought of after this. So the first one is Mizu Trailing Red, which is a succulent that has little puffball flowers in the middle of summer. It starts out light green and it has a white edge around the outside of the leaf. Even though it's called trailing red, I think it's more of a hot pink. The color of the flower. It blends with everybody. It's easy to grow and it looks good in pots, or you can grow it as a ground cover. And then this plant I learned about last year because it was in Melissa. Hi, Melissa, because she listens to us. So it was in her garden, in her window boxes. And it's graceful grasses because it is a proven winner variety. Queen Tut dwarf papyrus grass.
and Courtney up at the greenhouse, she'll have some of that, I'm sure. But
Well,
that's
King Tut's really easy to find. Prince Tut is pretty easy. Baby Tut's pretty easy, but I have never seen Queen Tut until I saw it in Mel's yard. And so I brought home 2 of them to put in pots, and I'm pretty excited about those.
so it would be a filler.
It is a filler. That's right. It is definitely a filler. The next thing we're going to talk about is a thriller, and that's Mandevilla. We have Mandevilla standards that have a twisted trunk.
Right.
We also have Bougainvillea, but Bougainvillea, I now know, needs to be planted all by itself. It does not like to share a pot with anything else because it wants to be dry and it wants to be kind of left alone.
And it has thorns.
Huh?
The bougainvilleas have thorns.
Yes, they do. And so the Mandevilla doesn't mind. And this one that I bought is really pretty. It has pink blooms on it. And then number 4 is needlepoint ivy, Hedera helix needlepoint. Have you ever seen needlepoint ivy?
I don't believe that I have.
It is a great trailer for your pot. And sometimes I'll put Mizzou on either side of a filler, and then I put the needlepoint ivy down the front, and it's just so pretty. It has a totally different kind of leaf. One person told me that they thought it looked a little bit like poison ivy, and I was like, no, it does not. And then this one's not brand new to me, but I love this plant, and everybody knows I love this plant. It's Petunia honey,
Sounds
and
pretty.
it's a super tunia, so it's put out by Proven Winners, which means it's more expensive. And I think I have a really good picture of it from last year in my garden that I'll get for you, Carol. What's your
Okay.
bonus? You have a bonus.
Well, I did go to the greenhouse with my sister yesterday morning, and there's like the house with all the annuals and the proven winners and things. The next house over is like all the vegetable garden stuff. And then
Mhm.
the back house has a lot of perennials and shrubs and different things.
Mhm.
So we had to go through all the annuals with me saying, no, too soon, too soon, too soon, too soon. But they'll sell out. Too soon, too soon, too soon. However, I did see a sedum, the sedum mechanoi ogon, which
Yeah.
is very chartreusey green.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, I do want that. And I said, hey, Courtney, this was one she brought in. She grows probably 90% of everything she sells, but she does bring some stuff in.
Mhm.
And she didn't know if she was going to get more. So my sister and I each picked up a pot of that.
I can see why, because it's really pretty.
It is. And the Missouri Botanic Garden website says it's not reliably winter hardy. It
Mhm.
says zone 6 to 9. It might
I've grown
in
this plant. It is not winter hardy, not here in zone 7. I'm just telling you
exactly.
right now.
I'm going to put it on a pretty container on my patio table for the summer. I'm going to pinch off some and see if it'll just see if I can get a miracle to happen. Dee's going like, no, you're not getting a miracle to happen. But the color was just, I just couldn't
The color
resist.
is amazing because it's really light green.
Yes, I
Really
loved
flat
it.
to the ground. It has little tiny, I don't know what, succulent leaves. I'm sorry, I bumped that deal. It's a beautiful plant.
Anyway, so I did see that at the greenhouse. And then I've kind of avoided looking at everything else because it just you have this temptation, and we'll talk in garden commissions why. I'm going to tell people in central Indiana, don't give in. Don't give in to temptation. So,
You can give in to temptation here in Oklahoma. I think you're going to be okay.
yeah,
All right, you
there you
want to do the
can.
next quote? Normally, I mean, it's only April 12th. Normally, it's at least April 15th, but this year has been warm. We've not had very many cold days at all. Are you ready?
I
Wendy?
am ready for the quote.
Somebody must be, is it somebody thinking of you when your nose itches?
I think so. Either
Yeah.
that or your nose itches.
Somebody must be thinking of me. All right. Dear Lord, afford our souls a spring. Thou knowest our winter has been long. Shine forth and warm our hearts to sing, and thy rich grace shall be our song. And that's John Newton from the hymn, Waiting for Spring.
Very lovely.
Mhm.
So I thought for the vegetables, we would bring the world to our vegetable gardens and talk
Mhm.
about some different things from different parts of the world that you might want to plunk into your vegetable garden.
Yeah.
So,
Part of this started because I am trying to grow, but I don't have them yet. So they need to come soon. Kurtrovska Capia paprika peppers. And these are from Bulgaria. And this all came about because I was talking to my friend, and there was this amazing dish on Instagram, and she put together this filling, and these were huge paprika peppers, right? Really big. And she was stuffing them with this meat concoction. And I thought, ooh, I could do that with what is that thing I eat? Ostrich. I could do that with
ostrich.
ostrich. It would be really good, or duck. And so I was like, what are these peppers? And he was like, well, they're a particular paprika pepper. Well, he found them for me. And I'm still waiting on the seeds because guess where they had to come from? Because you can't ship from Bulgaria to Oklahoma, but you can ship from England to Oklahoma, but it takes a little time. All
I
right,
guess, yeah,
next.
they
Yeah.
put it on a boat.
Yeah, slow boat to Oklahoma.
So, on that theme, the next one is German tomatoes.
Mm.
We always, growing up, German tomatoes was that great big yellow tomato.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of German tomatoes as great big tomatoes, usually lighter skin or even yellow. And I have grown for many years German Johnson, which is big and pink and very early to ripen, actually,
Yeah, I've grown it. It's a good one.
and
Very thin skinned.
very thin skin. I looked up and I think I found old German on territorial seeds. So I did not get seeds for German Johnson, so I will have to look for it because you often can find it for sale.
Yeah, a lot of times from Rare Seeds, Baker Creek.
Yeah.
They
But
often
I
do that.
German tomatoes are kind of part of my heritage, so it
Yeah.
seems wrong not to have them.
And then there's the Russian tomatoes, which I remember about 25 years ago when Russian tomatoes really came on the scene in
You're
the
old, Dee.
American.
25 years ago when the Russian tomatoes came on the scene, listen to
They came on the scene and everybody didn't know what to do with them. They tended to be dark, they tend to
very
be
dark.
very dark. They tend to ripen earlier. One of the most famous ones is black krim, but there's a whole bunch of Russian tomatoes. And I'm very successful with them in Oklahoma, which might seem odd because Russian weather is nothing like Oklahoma weather.
No, it is not.
However, Russians need, because it's so cold there, they need things to ripen early. They have a short growing season, and our growing season is short because it gets too hot. So I've had really good luck with them over the years, and I really I like black krim. And you found something interesting. Its origin is as interesting as its color and form. It is a selection in Krimsk, Russia, on the Black Sea, across from the Crimean. No, I'm sorry, Crimean. I know how to pronounce that. Crimean Peninsula, and synonyms include Black Crimea. So that's where it comes from. That's interesting, Carol.
Thank you. So the next one, I thought Italian squash. And of course, immediately when you think of Italian squash, you think of zucchini.
Yeah, and there's several varieties of zucchini, but there are other Italian squashes too.
I looked up, I just did a search on Italian squash and I found up with cucuzza, which I had never heard of.
I've never grown it.
I've never grown it. It grows more like a pumpkin, they said, than it would like a zucchini squash tends to be like a big plant, but pumpkin vines everywhere.
Yeah.
Lagenaria cinceraria. No cultivars. I'm looking at information on the spruce. Not commercially cultivated. You basically, seeds are often, they said, passed along from neighbor to neighbor. So again, Baker Creek heirloom seeds would be probably one place you could get this. I didn't even look it up.
Seeds from Italy or seeds of Italy, whichever way it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have found some really good stuff there before too.
I don't know. I just found it very interesting. And if you wanted to bring the world to your garden, then nothing like a heritage Italian squash that you can't hardly find seeds for. So I'm looking it up, and you know what? I don't. The recipe. It's all about the recipes as far as my search. So we'll just say you can get some seeds over here on Etsy. I'm always leery of seeds on Etsy, but
yeah, mine are from eBay. Which we'll
now
see.
wait a minute. True Leaf Market might have them because it's often grown as a gourd. Yeah, they have them. Yes. True Leaf, we'll put a link to True Leaf
if
Market.
it's grown as a gourd, you'd want to harvest it really early so it was tender.
Yes.
Instead of letting it be a gourd.
Yeah.
Okay.
I am not going to grow this because, again, you need something for it to vine on, and I just don't really have a thing for it to vine on. But it looks pretty interesting. I'd be willing to try it.
Sounds interesting.
Then we did Peruvian potatoes, and I was looking, and I thought, wait, technically aren't all potatoes Peruvian? Because
I think they are.
But
there are certain potatoes that continue to be grown more in Peru than the United States.
Yes. I was going to say, if you went down the rabbit hole of potatoes and you got away from like the very standard seed potatoes that you get, there are probably some very unusual potatoes that would be fun to grow.
I think it'd be very fun.
If one had better success with growing potatoes than I have. I don't have great luck with them. I don't know. Anyway, and then the last one.
I do better with red skin potatoes and the gold potatoes. Those are the ones I do the two best with. And yes, I've grown them all. I've grown the blue ones. I've grown the purple ones. They have a weird texture, and I don't like them. And shouldn't we grow things that we like, Carol?
We should grow things that we like.
That is the first rule of gardening. And I've quit growing things I don't like.
Like Swiss chard.
I hate Swiss chard.
The last one I came up with, just because when I was at the greenhouse, I thought, I have not planted any onions, and I decided not to put out onion sets. First of all, you have to buy such a huge bag. I don't need that many onions. But they did have some Seed Savers Exchange seeds there, and there was a Japanese bunching onion, Hishiko onions. Have you heard of hashiko?
I've not. Mm-mm. I
According
didn't know
to
that
the
there were Japanese munching onions. So you
yeah,
hear me. Good job.
according to the package, these are perennial.
Huh. Well, they might be. That'd be cool. Wouldn't it?
Now, yeah, when you think about ornamental alliums are perennials, so it makes sense that this could be a perennial. So I thought, well, I'm going to find a spot in the garden where I can let it see if it will perennialize. And it said, just kind of keeps adding little bulbils and you keep pulling them out. So I have the packet of seeds and I will be sowing them pretty soon to give them a try.
I think that's fun. Oh, and you wanted to talk again about terroir.
Terroir, which
Terroir.
is how soil and climate make a difference. And so,
And how things taste. Yeah.
yes, it makes a difference in how things taste. Herbs of Provence, for example, taste different depending on where you get them from.
Very different. Wine is a good example of that. Peppers, good example of that. So I
Good
don't know if
melons.
although I'm really good at growing peppers, but I don't know if I grow these peppers if they will taste anything like the ones in Bulgaria because their weather's different. But we'll see.
We shall see.
We shall see.
Anyway, we'll continue to talk about growing unusual things in the garden when we get to the book, and I will do a quote.
Okay.
The world is very old, but year by year it groweth new again when buds appear. The world is very old and sometimes sad, but when the daisies come, the world is glad. The world is very old, but every spring it groweth young again, and fairies sing. And that is Spring Magic by Cicely Mary Baker. We have used that quote again, but it seems like every spring we have to be reminded.
I think so too. So you got our book on the bookshelf. Did you buy it or did you find it?
This is a library book.
Okay, it's the library book. Okay. The name of it is The Curious Kitchen Gardener, Uncommon Plants and How to Eat Them by Linda Ziedrich. Or Ziedrich. Yeah, it's probably Ziedrich.
Yes.
Amazon.
And she primarily has a website, a blog.
Good for
And
her.
this book was put out by Timber Press. I was going to look up the date. I was going to have all this information ready. I think it got published just last year. And we did not talk about it. We did not get review copies, but I stumbled upon it at the library and I thought, oh, I want to try that.
Yeah.
And I would like to, as always in the spring, direct your attention back to violets because she does have a chapter on sweet violets and how you would make like violet jelly out of them and things like that. But there's more than violets in here.
Redbud, you can make redbud jelly. People
You
make
can
it
make redbud jelly.
blossom.
But she's got everything from, well, there's a chapter on radical ways with radishes,
There you go. Radical ways.
angelica, bamboo, collards. Of course, she called it blue-fruited honeysuckle, which we know is honeyberry.
Yeah.
Strawberries from the woods, walnuts, sour sorrel, kale buds, and collard tops. Artichokes, leaves of the vine. I didn't look that up to see what that was. Garlic chives, which can be very invasive in the garden.
Oh my gosh, please don't put garlic chives in your garden.
Green
How many people have
garbanzos.
reached out to me this year and said, I bought these chives and now they have spread everywhere. And I'm like, do they have flat leaves instead of round leaves? And they go, oh my gosh, yes. And I go, those are garlic chives.
Yeah. Magenta leafed oric, the singular maca ozette potato,
I've done oric.
onion that walks, black and blue tomatoes, longest beans. Anyway, she has quite a few things. Lavender. She has a chapter on chicory and making coffee from your own chicory, which our ancestors would have done when they couldn't get coffee.
And they still put chicory in the coffee down in New Orleans.
Yeah. Forgotten but flavorful quince. Anyway, it's just really good. But what's nice about this, especially for somebody like you that actually cooks, is she has recipes that go along with it. So it's not just like how to grow. And by the way, Leaves of the Vine is about grape leaves, growing and using grape leaves in your cooking.
Yeah, very, very Greek.
Lots of recipes and things. And I think her blog is as much about cooking as it is about gardening. So
That's
if you're
cool.
somebody that's wanting to try some different things,
Or how,
in your garden.
or you're growing some different things and you're like, what do I do with these?
Exactly. Then, oh, look, it's backwards. The Curious Kitchen Gardener, Uncommon Plants and How to Eat Them by Linda Ziedrich. Zedrick. Very good. She's a master gardener and also a master food preserver because a lot of it's about preserving the food too. So it's a good book. I recommend it.
Cool. Ready for a quote?
I am.
After the clouds, the sunshine. After the winter, the spring. After the shower, the rainbow. For life is a changeable thing. After the night, the morning, bidding all darkness cease. After life's cares and sorrows, the comfort and sweetness of peace. And that's by Helen Steiner Rice, and she wrote it in a book called Whispers from the Heart. I really loved her work, and I used to read it all the time when I was young. So what's our dirt, Carol?
So how much would you pay for a single tomato seed, Dee?
Very little. because I don't care about growing giant vegetables, but people who grow them would pay a lot.
Over there on Instagram, we started following Pumpkinista in Maine because she grows giant vegetables, which is, for whatever reason, you tend to think about men that get into this hobby,
Men tend to do it, but women, there are some women, and she's one of them.
So she has a video out there about a guy named Dan who grew a record large tomato, and then he was going to auction off some of the seeds, and the bidding got to be ridiculous. So he sold some of the seeds for like $2,000 each. And I think the money's going to a charity or something, I would hope. But anyway.
I mean, maybe he wants a new section of garden or greenhouse.
So the world record largest tomato, you know how many pounds it is?
No, I don't.
17.15. Do you know how ugly it is?
So ugly. Because I've seen these online, and they have.
It's not like they're just like all
not edible.
They're just all like they're just grotesque looking.
Yes, because they're cracked, and yeah, I've seen.
They just have like all those like bumps and things coming out. We'll put a link, and people can go, and to their heart's delight, they can go look at that. That is our dirt.
You enjoy it, people. All right, do the quote, and then we'll get into rabbit holes. I'm kind of excited about mine.
It is utterly false and cruelly arbitrary to put all the play and learning into childhood, all the work into middle age, and all the regrets into old age. Margaret Mead.
Yeah, Margaret. Okay. So it's still Easter. It's still Easter in your church, in our church, which is the Catholic Church. It's Easter for a while. We really do Easter for a long time.
50 days of Easter.
Yeah, 50 days. And the Eastern Orthodox Church and all of Orthodoxy, their Easter is today.
Exactly. Yes.
It's Divine Mercy Sunday in the Catholic Church, and it's Easter Sunday in the Orthodox Church.
Yes.
So I have learned a lot about the Orthodox Church this year, but this was really interesting to me because I found it on Instagram, and I will try to find the Instagram where I found it because I sent it to a friend. But in the Eastern Orthodox tradition, they dye their eggs red. Green too. There's green and some other colors, but the red egg is a really big deal.
Because?
And so I was like, why? Why red? And I found it. It has to do with Mary Magdalene. And it symbolizes the resurrection. So the legend is that while proclaiming Christ's resurrection to Emperor Tiberius Caesar, he mocked Mary Magdalene, saying it was as unlikely as her white egg to turn red, and it turned red. Isn't that fun?
That is fun.
If I can get my friend to let me do his picture, they dyed their eggs red, and so I have a beautiful picture of the red eggs. We'll see. I'm allowed to put it in our newsletter. I'll ask.
Yeah,
it's a cool idea. There's a beautiful icon of Mary Magdalene, and she's a red veil, and she's holding a red egg in her hands.
I did not. That's new to me. That's interesting.
New to me too. Did not know it at all. I was like, red eggs? And then, of course, as soon as I said that, Instagram just started going, red eggs, red eggs, red eggs.
Oh, Instagram.
Okay, your turn.
So I have 3 rabbit holes. The first one, did you make a face when I said 3?
No, I messed up. I hit the drawer that makes the noise, and I said, I'm sorry, because I know that's hard for you to get it out of here.
No, I won't. I didn't hear the noise, so I think I'm okay.
We're okay? Good. I'm glad. Go.
So I did do another Lost Lady. She comes out on Wednesday, same day as this podcast. Mrs. H.B. Tillotson. It was actually 2 women, a daughter-in-law and a mother-in-law. and sorting out who was who as far as writing. I think I've got it sorted out. But anyway, and then I want to jump down. I listened to 2 podcast episodes this last week.
Yeah.
One of them is a podcast called Talking Gardens with Gardens Illustrated, and they had Adam Frost of Gardener's World.
Uh-huh.
And Adam talked about his life growing up and where he's at now and the smaller garden and his wife being ill. I mean, he's really had kind of a rough road to hoe, so to
Oh,
speak.
see, I didn't know all that stuff. I knew something was going on because
Yeah, he doesn't tell a lot about it, but his wife was very ill and actually in the hospital for a while, and so he loves her dearly and he does what she says. So he says they might have another move in them because when Mrs. Frost says it's time to move, they move.
hmm,
But it's I think that is well worth listening to. He talks
I
in
would
front of
like
a
to
live
listen to
audience.
that because I really like him. So,
The other one was with Monty Don of Gardener's World, and he was on a podcast called
that was, yes, I saw a piece of that. That was very interesting.
Rosebud with Giles Brenda.
Hmm.
And we've known that Monty has had some rough go of it in his past too. And so he talks quite a bit about that. I did not know he had a twin sister.
No, I knew he was a twin,
He has
but
a twin sister. He talks about her and just, it's not been easy for Monty Don either. So I know he has people that say, Monty Don, blah, blah, blah. But I think he's a pretty down to earth guy. And I think those 2 podcast episodes will help you see Gardener's World in perhaps a bit of a different light.
yeah, totally different light. And while you were talking, I found the image of Mary Magdalene that I saw on Instagram that is
Excellent.
unbelievably beautiful. So I will put it in our show notes so we can have it.
The last thing, Dee, and I think I shared this with you, so probably Instagram will be showing you. Did you know? So there's cottage core, there's
Yes.
grandma core. I'm
Yep.
trying to get spinster core going. And then I stumble into burrow core. Do you know what burrow core is?
It's the art of living inside a storybook hideaway because you sent it to me. Not that you
Exactly.
just read it in the show notes, but you sent me the deal and I started laughing. It's like being a hobbit.
Yes. So, and I get this quote from, I think, Home and Garden UK or Home and Garden
Hmm.
Illustrated UK. They said, at its heart, this still emerging trend feels almost like a lived in cabinet of curiosities where rooms are shaped by what has been gathered over time rather than designed all at once.
That sounds like my house.
It sits closely alongside a wider shift we are seeing in 2026, a move towards homes with presence and individuality, spaces that tell you who lives there from the moment you step inside.
And so it's why antiques are back.
Antiques, secondhand finds, inherited pieces, the instinct to layer art, craft, and personal objects, allowing interiors to feel both storied and deeply personal.
Yep.
I love
So
that.
I love the idea of, I think I do burrow core actually.
I think that I do burrow core.
And I have a lot of collected things, including a giant rose rock. So
Yes, I have rose rocks that you gave me. So
yes. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad this is our garden to visit because I love this garden.
I love this garden too. It is the Blodell Reserve in Seattle, Washington.
It's a 140-acre wonder of nature created by the imagination, vision, and passionate love of the natural world, shared by the founders, Prentice and Virginia Bladell. They worked with the rugged geography of the land and artfully turned a rough-hewn northwest forest into a harmonious series of curated gardens, structural features, and distinctive landscapes with nature as the canvas and the paint.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about the Bladell Reserve. The first time I went, and that was when you were probably with me,
Yes.
it was raining cats and dogs.
It was lovely though.
Oh my gosh, it was beautiful. And I walked around with Deborah Prinzing, who's a friend of ours, and we had a long talk, but I mean, it was raining buckets and we had on, raincoats. Because when we go on these garden tours, we never know what we're
Exactly.
going to come into. So we usually have umbrellas and raincoats because sometimes it rains buckets like it did there. And we just had the best time. And then my family came to visit, and it was like a few days later, and I took them to the Bladell Reserve too.
Uh-huh.
Sunny. So it was a totally different experience. I'm so glad.
So what I did at the Blodell Reserve is you know how when we get to these things and people say, well, the docent will give you a tour and everybody's like, I don't want a docent tour. I went with the docent.
Was it good?
She took me down a path that was chained off
Oh,
and
no.
said, come this way and we will see the bald eagle's nest and the bald eagle.
Well, that's cool too.
So I got to see the bald eagle's nest and the bald eagle. And then they have a Japanese inspired garden.
Yes, they do.
And they have another area where there's a man-made pond. Maybe it's a swimming pond. But when you got to this space, you immediately whispered. You just knew not to talk out loud because it was so serene and beautiful. So if you're in the area, it's definitely worth a trip.
Yeah, you should definitely go.
Rain or shine.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. And I wrote a whole blog post on the Blodell.
Did you? Because I wrote my blog post about the Blodell Reserve was about fairy holes. And I'm thinking, I probably need a better picture of the Blodell Reserve, and maybe Dee has one. Because what year was it that we went out there?
I don't know. I'm looking it up. Okay, here it is. It was 2011.
2011.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know how I'll find those pictures from 2011.
I've got pictures of the Blodell Reserve. Here's
okay.
It's actually on Bainbridge Island.
Yes, it's on Bainbridge Island.
You do have to take a ferry to it. And here's
That's okay. An Ferry, not a garden ferry.
No.
All right. Well, so we'll put a link to your blog post out there, and then and maybe I'll steal a picture of it and people can see it. All right. Garden commissions.
My garden commission is to get my plants potted up that I bought those plants for, which people will see in the deal because I gave you a picture of them. The other thing is, what else do I need to do? Well, I'll just bring it. Tomorrow we're getting huge trucks. We're closed on Mondays at Friends with Flowers. And we're getting huge trucks in tomorrow. And I did the trucks last fall because last fall was my first time to work. And I'm told that this is like twice as much. And so I'll be dead tomorrow. But I'm really glad to do it because it's fun to see the new stuff come in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fun to be with the girls because this whole entire operation is women. And that's fun. So I'm working there Tuesday and Thursday this week and tomorrow. I am taking off Saturday because I'm going to see Stevie Nicks in concert. So
very nice.
I'm going to do that. That's not really a garden commission, but she's a gypsy, so it's close enough.
There you go. So I'm going to keep weeding. I'll be mowing in front, waiting patiently for real spring.
It's real spring.
Because I looked at the 10-day forecast, and today's the 12th. On the 21st, it shows a low temperature of 32 degrees.
Oh, bummer.
So that is not frost-free, people. Don't get your hopes up.
No, it's too early for you guys. Really.
I have garden club tomorrow. I said I have library garden group. I think that's the week after next. I'm going to obviously go shop at the greenhouse a couple of times.
Yeah, me too.
I've got this crazy idea of collecting crocus seeds from the back lawn to sow in the front lawn. Don't know if that'll work. I did some research. A packet of 10 crocus seeds is like $3.95, so I don't want to buy them. But I thought if I could collect seeds, because somebody posted on my blog for a very old post that they collected seeds and then cast those around. I'm like, well, why not? So anyway, just kind of enjoy spring too. There's no big rush to plant.
No,
here.
because you know what? We got time. You got time here.
Yeah, we got time.
And if you don't want to plant, come buy one of those drop-ins from me at Front Door Flowers. And no, they don't pay me to say that. I just think it's cool. Drop it in a pot, put a little Spanish moss around it, and people think you've worked really hard.
There you go. All right, I'm going to wrap us up. Speaking of time, we are out of time today. Thank you for listening to The Garden Angelist. We publish every week on Wednesdays at 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Be sure and follow us on Apple Podcasts. That helps us get noticed by others.
Oh, and I need to say something now, too.
Yes, you do.
Sorry. Where are we now? Oh, there we are. If you subscribe to our Substack newsletter, you get a link to listen to the podcast a whole day early and links to products we discuss. Plus, go over to YouTube and see us in person. Full episodes show up on Tuesdays. So if you can't wait until Wednesday, you now have 2 ways to get episodes on Tuesdays.
If you want to help support us, use our affiliate links. If you click on them after and then buy something, We're in a small commission and it costs you nothing extra.
Threw you off. Or you can set up a monthly subscription through Buzzsprout or make a one-time donation through PayPal. You also have the option of pledging your support on Substack.
Thank you to everyone who's done so. It helps us pay for podcast hosting.
It was lovely to chat with all of you over the Garden Gate. Bye until next week.
So do we have something special for YouTube today, Dee?
No, I think you took that from last week because we did one last time.
Okay, so there's nothing special for YouTube, but people should go over there and subscribe and like us anyway. With that,
Please do.
we say goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.